Welcome to this episode of Diaspora Scholars TV. My name is Dr. Ari, and we are in Georgia. We are actually in Atlanta. We are at Georgia State University, and we are here for a conference, the Kenyan Scholars Conference, held annually between the 5th and the 6th of September all over. That brings people from all over, the U.S., mostly Kenyans, but I'm here mostly to meet Kevin Mudavadi.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ndumbera.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I've been waiting for my chance, and I'm hoping to grab it with both hands. Yeah.
Grabbing it with both hands?
Yeah.
The way you grab your PhD with both the way you grab your PhD with both hands, because you recently graduated. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the thing about the US is that when you come here, you need to really grab every opportunity you get.
Yeah.
You know how competitive it is here. So whenever I had an opportunity to attend conferences like KESA, International Communication Association, AGMC, name them all that I've done for quite some time, I used to pick that opportunity to engage with people, to meet professors in the field. Kenyan professors have been here for quite some time to share ideas. Those ideas, put them together, and then prepare for a market that leads to such a job. Yeah.
So you are an assistant professor?
Yeah, I'm an assistant professor here at Georgia State University. This is an R1 institution, which means it supports research as well as teaching. But much more of expectation is now kind of research that you produce and how your research impacts students in your classroom. So generally, I teach, currently this semester, I teach foundations of media research.
Okay.
I'm introducing students to basic skills for research. I was using an example of finding more value in Gen AI and being careful in what Gen AI generates in research and how this impacts the ethical preparations, ethical reportage of information on research. So it's tentatively, end of the semester, I expect them to have produce a qualitative project. They will conduct interviews, they will do analysis for those interviews, and these are undergraduate students. And I'm proud of the progress so far, what I'm seeing so far.
Wow, you're already running away with it. It's true, you have picked up even this opportunity with both hands as an assistant professor.
Yeah.
But let me just ask you even basically, are you used to being called Dr. Kevin Mudavadi? Because you were teaching when you were doing your PhD, but now has it dawned on you that when they say Dr. Kevin Mudavadi, they are referring?
It's a huge transition. I agree. So at times I fall off, and then I'm like, oh, I'm a student. Then I have to pinch myself and say, oh, now I'm an assistant professor, and I have to be responsible for my students. In the past I would be like a graduate teaching assistant or a research assistant, and I would depend on my professor. I would be like, students come to me, I'm like, we should go to the professor and address it. But right now, the students have to come to me because I am the final. The world stops with me. But it is an interesting job. I really enjoy, because I've always wanted, since I was very young, wanted to help people become better. So this position allows me to live that dream. I've wanted to have an opportunity where I have students come to my classroom, they don't know anything. They live courageous and ready to work on these things that they have learned in the respective places of work.
Wow, wow. Let's talk about that, because at some point, when you came to the US, you probably didn't know as much as you do now. Take us through that journey. How did you even come to the US to do your studies?
I like that question. I love that question. So my story is actually very, very emotional, because I'll start all the way from 2011. It was during Christmas. I think I had a conversation with my mom. My mom comes from that generation where the boys were given priority to education. Then the girl child got a second opportunity after all the males have been educated. It's sort of, I cannot blame my grandfather because of the context of that tradition then. Yes. So my mom really wanted to study, wanted to become a nurse, but she didn't have that opportunity. She reached some level, but not enough. But when we had that conversation, I told her, I'll do this for you. And when I start studying, I'll go all the way to the PhD level. So I started, I wanted to get that practical skills for journalism. So I started with a diploma in the East African School of Media Studies. I did a 2-year comprehensive course. and I graduated top of my class with a distinction. I am proud of that progress.
Wow.
So I got that practical training of journalism and media studies. Then I really had this itchy feeling.
So, wow. So, I mean, I feel like we should just now go back to high school. Let's go back to high school. I mean, the viewers, you know, some viewers have told me I will normally interrupt my interviewees, but I get excited sometimes. So let's go back to high school, and then let's pull it from there.
Yeah, I went through St. Ignatius and Kumu Boys.
Okay.
Yeah, I did my Form 4
there. That is in Kakamega.
Yeah, that's Kakamega. Yeah, and Mukumu, to be specific. After that, I started the diploma that I was talking about. When I
Which year was that?
That's 2012, 2013.
2012, 2013.
Yeah. So after that, I got I got this itchy feeling. Because I was like, to be really a journalist, I need to advance beyond just practicality. I need the theory part of it. So I joined St. Paul's University.
Okay.
I did my 2.5 years there. I also graduated top of my class with a first class honors.
First class honors?
I was actually given an award during the graduation, and I was in the dean's list for quite some time there.
If you are watching, this is Dr. Kevin Mudavadi. He's gone far. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah. After that, I think my urge for research, I did my internship at KRA, the Kenyan Revenue Authority.
Okay.
Yeah, I met a very good deputy commissioner of marketing. She's one of my favorite people that I've ever met. And she found me as an intern just sitting there without any tasks.
What's her name?
I cannot recall.
That's okay, we'll find out.
Yeah. But if I remember during the interview, I'll let you know. So she told me, Kevin, would you like some tasks? And I was like, yeah, I want some tasks. So she told me, the Business Daily has some day when they cover information about KRA. So she told me go and pick all the newspapers throughout that period. I think it was like 7-8 months, and just look at how the media is covering Kenya Revenue Authority. So then there, I developed a feeling that indeed coverage of media is not just pasting information. The media is actually covering organizations in some ways. They develop trends, they develop negative or positive posts.
And we even do a lot of research before you write that story.
Yeah, before you write that story. So then I developed that research technique. I said, I really want to examine how the media covers organizations, how the media covers topical issues. Then that spurred me to pursue a master's. So I went to USIU, United States International University Africa, where I pursued a 2.5-year course. I'm not bragging again, but I graduated second. I was the second best student during that session.
Oh my goodness, Kevin! What you kept all this to yourself? I mean, we've been wanting to do this interview.
Yeah, I told you I needed some time to prep. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Actually, at USIU Africa in the communication the department, I was I think the first student to get an A in a thesis proposal defense.
Wow.
Yeah. So I am really proud of what I did at USIU. I met good professors there. One of the professors studied at Indiana University, Dr. Kyoko Ireri.
Oh, Dr. Kyoko Ireri.
Yeah, who actually inspired me to join Indiana University.
Now I see the connection.
Yes, I had several.
How are you paying for your tuition at USIU?
At USIU Africa, I have a brother of mine who, our story is actually prolonged. My brother had to sacrifice his youthful ages to work in the Middle East. And he paid my school fees at...
yeah, because I always want to be able to know, because many of our viewers also always want to know how do you get this funding opportunity. So your brother paid for you.
Yeah, so my story is that of a sacrifice. My brother had to take that sacrifice, my elder brother. And I can assure you, I never lacked anything throughout that period. In fact, in my master's thesis, I acknowledge his effort. I'd say that without him, I would not even have dreamt to study at USIU Africa. But because of that step at USIU Africa, I am here speaking as an assistant professor. So that would lead me to my journey at Indiana University Bloomington, one of the best
media schools.
Media schools that are, in fact, it's the media school.
It's the media school.
Yeah, the media school is the department title. One of the best places you can actually do your communication studies. I met very good professors. My advisor, Dr. James Shanahan, one of the most understanding professors, an industry name. He has a storied professor. He has done lots of research in media effects. He connected with me even before I came to IU Bloomington. We started chatting via email. He was really encouraging, telling me the research I'm doing is topical and people would love to hear more research about it. So perhaps I should just talk about this story briefly.
Yeah.
I had this challenge of publication. And I had a very good supportive advisor. This is the role of an advisor that I would love to have for my students in the future, learning from what I had with my advisor. My first 4 papers, when I submitted them for review, all of them were rejected.
That was devastating after having written for a while.
Yeah, so I went to my advisor and told him, why is it that my papers are being rejected day and night?
Why mine?
So he told me his own personal story that was almost similar. So he told me he also had his papers rejected before, but he never gave up. He continued to revise based on those comments and submitting them to various journals. But here's the catch. My advisor also has a similar story with mine, because one of my papers that I submitted in a conference at ICA won the top student paper award.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the thing. When I took that paper and submitted it to a journal, it was rejected again. So we looked at it, we didn't dismay, so we looked at it and revised according to those comments, did further analysis, and that paper will be out very soon. It's
good, congratulations on that.
Very last stages of publication. But since that day, it's called breaking the dark. So my publications just started coming out. By the time I was graduating, I think I had a total of 10 publications.
10 publications?
Yeah, before I joined the Georgia State University.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and actually, I know it takes time for people to produce their manuscripts from their dissertation, but my manuscript was just published recently, first for my dissertation on, it examines how journalists in Kenya think about job satisfaction.
So your research was about job satisfaction?
No, generally my dissertation looks at how journalists in Kenya think about their roles and what factors impact their thought about their roles. So you know, the way I think about my satisfaction in my job will impact my output, which is
definitely.
Yeah. So that was one of the major things that I examined. So this publication, what it shows is that the Kenyan journalists are satisfied with their jobs despite lower pay. And what I do is compare what Ireri's seminal work did in Kenya in 2012-2013. So I compare over time what has changed. Has the satisfaction increased or decreased? And we find the satisfaction, even though it's decreased minimally, the percentages are still high. Satisfaction with the job, but there is dissatisfaction with salary. So then I asked journalists, why then are you saying you're satisfied with your job and you are dissatisfied with your salary?
So you were going to Kenya to do the research, or how were you doing your research?
Oh, wonderful. My research, people ask me about that. How did I manage to examine 1,022 Kenyan journalists?
1,000 journalists? It's a very high number.
Yes. And it started with, so I met this experienced journalist, done journalism for quite some time. His name is Shitem. He's a current graduate student at the media school. I asked him, I have this ambitious project. I'll examine 1,000 journalists. How can I do it? So what we did was we did stratification. Kenya has 47 counties. So in these counties, we have like bureau chiefs and people who can reach out, who are in charge of those journalists in those areas. So I did a recall before the data collection and reconnaissance. I mapped out those journalists because I know the Kenyan, the media council has tried and had a list of all journalists, but when I went there, I missed out some number of journalists. So I decided to build my own list of journalists in Kenya. And we reached out to those bureau chiefs and people in main media houses to link us to people in county level. Then we built a list. Then we randomly, we selected names from each county to lead us to the sample size. It's a nice, long, big story. And after that, we say it's not just enough to have the numbers. So I still went back and randomly selected journalists and interviewed 16 of them. Oh, you physically interviewed them? Yeah, so it's a mixed method kind of research. And it produces exceptional picture of who a journalist is. I can give you like a tip of who they say what their role is. I'm curious.
I'm curious. One time I joked about the TV journalists. What is this thing by they acquire some unique tone while reporting instead of just sticking to the way they speak.
Wonderful. That's actually what role conception is all about. What do they say their role is? So I will not talk about these common roles we see here in the US, watchdog. It was there. The most interesting one is the critical advocate. So this is a journalist who has learned to sit in between, to know how to work with the news sources and to critic at the same time, which is the typical role of a Kenyan journalist. And this is a journalist who has to put food on the table, so they have to know how to speak to their sources as well as critic them at the same time. So that's a unique role which is not actually present in Western democracies, which is a contribution that my research does.
Oh, really? Yeah, because I was very curious, and sometimes I watch and I wonder, especially now that I do this channel. Obviously, there's always that thing of wanting to know more about how journalists do their thing. Because,
So I think that is the unique concept that we bring from the global South. And I think when I was doing my defense report, members of the committee were very happy with that kind of a unique contribution. And although I've not transitioned it into a journal article, I'm still working on it because I'm just starting a new role here with teaching expectations and preparing to get into a new environment, multiple things working at the same time. But I'm really itching to write that kind of research. Aside from just my dissertation, I am now interested in how journalists engage with AI. Does consumption of like the use of AI by journalists in newsroom impact trust for us audiences? That's the kind of now research that I'm doing currently. Yeah.
Oh wow, wonderful. So, talking of getting adjusted at Georgia State University as an assistant professor, what are some of your experiences in the few weeks you've taught? How many weeks since the school started?
This is my second week.
Your second week?
Yeah.
Okay.
The experience, fantastic.
Fantastic.
I love it here. And I'm going to tell you, when I said my prayers, I know people don't like to hear this, but when I was saying my prayers, I told God, I just need a warm step. I wanted to... I had enough of the cold.
You had enough of the snow and the low temperatures.
And when I reached here, it is diverse. You're going to meet like people from each and every
Atlanta is a big city.
Atlanta is good.
If you are watching one of the stadiums of the World Cup 2026, it's going to be in Atlanta.
Did you know the Mercedes-Benz Stadium actually just locks?
Yes, it's a collapsible roof.
I was really amazed to see that.
I've been there and I've watched all the stadiums, and it's incredible.
And there is a Coca-Cola company. You can taste every kind of Coca-Cola.
I've been to that museum 3 times because there are some tastes that are so unique that it's unbelievable that there are such drinks. Coca-Cola is here. The CDC is here. CNN, the journalist.
Yes,
CNN is here.
I'm actually looking forward to bringing Larry Monroe into my classroom.
Oh wow!
Like talk to my students.
Yes.
And when I continue teaching here, I want that kind of environment.
Where I can be able to bring real life stories.
Yes, into classrooms. That's the kind of contribution I want to bring to Georgia State. Like I think my students say, I had a student come to my classroom and say, "Whoa, I'm actually very happy to see a black professor here." She felt emotional. She was like, "Oh, this is really nice. I'm proud of you. You inspire me." I want this kind of stories, like people look up to you and see it is possible to be in such a position. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you are watching Diaspora Scholars TV. This is a story of an incredible story of Kevin Mudavadi, Dr. Kevin Mudavadi to be precise. Tell us a little bit of your earlier journey. You talked of your high school.
Yeah.
St. Ignatius Bukubo boys.
Yes.
Before that, which school were you? Which primary school? And indeed, where were you born? Where do you hail from Kenya? Because there are people who'll be watching from Kenya and they're gonna say, we wanna be like, Kevin.
Yeah. I really have to thank my dad. My dad really believed in me ever since I was very young. I went through private schools when I was in primary level.
Wow.
Then I joined a public school closer to class 8, 7, because the private school was like transitioning to some other structures. So my dad took me to public school just close to there, Maraba Primary School. I was born in Kakamega, did some primary pupillage there, then went to high school in Mukumu Boys. But I have gone through circumstances that have prepared me for what I am today. I have taught even at Lirembe High School.
You taught as well?
Yes, I taught Swahili and Kiswahili. I know how to speak Kiswahili sanifu vizuri sana.
Kevin is a true journalist. he wards off your question by saying he speaks good Swahili. We are not going to test him on that one.
Nimefunza Kiswahili kwa
Umefunza Kiswahili?
Wanafunzi wangu hata wananipigia simu, tunaongea kwenye simu. They tell me that they're very happy with the training. I'm sure they are. Because usually when I train my students, even here at Georgia State, I go beyond just the knowledge base. I prepare you to be a proper citizen. Because when you
all-round person.
Yes.